Imagine this. You're 18 years old, full of dreams, plans, and hope. One day, you're arrested for a crime you didn't commit. The world calls you a monster. You lose your family, your friends, your freedom. And for 55 long years, more than half a century, you sit behind bars knowing you're innocent. This isn't fiction. It's the real-life story of Robert DuBoise, a man who spent 55 years wrongfully imprisoned before the truth finally set him free. It was 1983 in Tampa, Florida. Robert was just a regular teenager, working, hanging out with friends, living an ordinary life. Until one day, everything changed. A young woman was tragically assaulted and murdered. The community wanted justice. Fast. Robert was accused, despite no solid evidence connecting him to the crime. So how did they pin it on him? A supposed bite mark on the victim, and a jailhouse informant who later admitted he lied. That was it. No DNA, no witnesses, just flawed science and false testimony. Robert was convicted, sentenced to death. Here's the thing about Robert. He never gave up. His death sentence was later reduced to life in prison, but the walls still closed in every day. He wrote letters. He begged for re-examinations of his case, and still, silence. Can you imagine holding on to hope while watching decades slip away? But hope, even when small, is powerful. Fast forward to 2020, yes, 37 years after his conviction, when new technology finally stepped in. DNA testing, which didn't exist back then, proved Robert wasn't the killer. The bite mark evidence? Completely unreliable. The jailhouse informant? Exposed as a liar? After 55 years of wrongful imprisonment, Robert was declared innocent. His name cleared. Here's the part that hits hardest. Robert walked out of prison a free man, but the world he knew was gone. He lost his youth, his family moments, his chance at a normal life. Imagine going into prison before the internet was even a thing, and coming out to a world of smartphones, social media, and self-driving cars. So, what did Robert do with his newfound freedom? He didn't give in to anger or bitterness. He chose resilience. He became a voice for others who are wrongfully convicted. A living reminder that justice can fail, but hope doesn't have to. Robert's story isn't an isolated tragedy. He's one of thousands of wrongfully convicted people who spend years, sometimes lifetimes, behind bars for crimes they didn't commit. According to the Innocence Project, over 3,300 people have been exonerated since 1989, and those are just the ones we know about. How many more are still waiting for justice? Robert DuBoise lost 55 years of his life to a broken system, but his spirit? Unbreakable. He once said, "I've lost so much time, but I'm not going to let it define me. I want to live." And that, my friends, is what makes his story truly extraordinary. So, the next time you feel like giving up, remember Robert. Remember his fight, his patience, and his ability to find purpose in the face of unimaginable loss. Because if he can hold on to hope for 55 years, maybe we can too. Thanks for listening. If you found this story as powerful as I did, share it. Let Robert's story inspire more people to fight for what's right. And remember, truth always finds a way, even if it takes 55 years.